If I were to send you flowers, where would I... No, let me rephrase that. If I were to let you suck my tongue, would you be grateful? What? Hey guys, welcome back. Ellie, I have a feeling that this is one of these movies where we're going to greatly disagree. And probably with a lot of other viewers I'm going to disagree. Let me start off with I own the DVD, which explains already a lot. Face Off is an action movie the way it should be done. You got your action, you got your stunts, you got your explosions, you got your shooting, and the most important, you got a very easy to follow plot. So all the ingredients for a good action movie, basically. But is it really this way? I'll say yes. Because by plot, I mean obviously this does not make sense at all plot, which is going to be a lot in this type of movies. Let me explain. It's adequate in this type of movies, but it's done a lot better here because the story itself is simply not the way these stories work. Let me explain. The face swap, let's name it face swap, of the good guy getting the face, or basically the body, of the guy who murdered his son. So a person that he is disgusted of, and then the bad guy coming back to life, getting the face of his arch enemy and playing his role in his family. That's pretty unique, and it's pretty interesting from psychological standpoint, and it's funny to see where this is going. I mean, from Nicolas Cage being between crying and screaming, "I'm Castle Troy!" in the prison, so he can show off what a tough guy he is, but in reality he's dying inside. And the bad guy having to play this cop who was so stiff before and depressed. It's really interesting to watch only this part, and then shooting yourself, basically. I don't know if it could hurt me when I look like me, even when I know that's not me. So I have to point a gun at basically myself. That's pretty tough. The bad stuff is basically Nicolas Cage. I'll say it wouldn't be the baddest thing if he could really take off his face, but I don't think that's going to happen. So this is not the normal action movie stuff what we have here. I think this is more elaborate, like in a really good thought thriller, and this is what makes this movie awesome. Such train of thoughts and such psychological stuff. This isn't normal action movie stuff. It is not as dull as the normal action movies, and that is the point. If you're not into action movies, if you're disgusted by all these explosions and dumb plot holes and everything, then it's not going to make it better. You won't like it anyway. But if you like action movies, this really makes it stand out. And that is the big thing about this movie, I feel. The other big thing in this movie is John Woo. You can see his handwriting all over the place. It's just so elegant. Even a dull shot of a man getting out of a car turns into a duel fest of a man getting out of a car with the wind fluffing up his coat and everything in slow motion. It just looks stunning. You got the typical Woo white pigeons flying in slow motion while bullets are splattering everywhere, and John Woo is just a master of turning violence into elegance, really. And yes, it is full of unrealistic stuff, it's gonna be this way. You can adopt the son of the guy that tried to kill you. Really cool. And you're gonna ask your wife in front of the little boy. That's nice. That's a really cool ending. And on the first 10 minutes I could ramble about 30 minutes long. What's wrong with all these shots? The landing strip at the airport, which is basically 10 miles long. Cars that accelerate to maximum speed in 3 seconds. The hangar surrounded by an army of officers, and the good guy and the bad guy end up alone inside and shooting each other. Yeah, right. But it doesn't matter who is a director with style over substance, and that's the way it's going to look. In action movies, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. And here it turns out great. Basically, I think because of the really awesome plot I mentioned earlier. Just a style with a mediocre story and all of these plot holes or mistakes or errors or unrealistic stuff, whatever you want to name it, would be a much bigger deal than it is this way. But it turns to be out really awesome. And I feel that this is a must-see for everyone who likes action movies. Because if you do like this stuff, there's always unrealistic stuff in it, and it's always going to be pretty bad. It's always a very easy to follow plot, but this is such a good mixture of action and drama and a little bit of comedy that makes it just awesome. And if you adore John Woo style, this movie is just for you. So I hope I haven't offended all of you now. Until next week, gotta run.